So everybody's talking about the video from Evergreen College. We're going to see that in a minute. Forget, you guys don't know, Evergreen's one of these colleges that started, I think, in the 70s. It was kind of one of those places where you set your own courses, you chart your own path, create your own education, and that's where you're going to become a better person, a better social justice warrior. But you know, Evergreen is not that much different than all the other colleges around the country. So when you see this video at Evergreen, do you ever wonder, if you're a parent who ever tried to get a kid into a college, you must wonder, like, how do those kids get into that college? And when you see the same thing happening at Yale and Harvard and Berkeley and University of Colorado, Boulder, University of Chicago, all over the country, when you see the exact same behavior, you ever wonder, like, how did those kids get in when my kid's sitting at a junior college this year? Well, we got a great look into that from BuzzFeed and from the website College Reform over the last couple days. There was a lawsuit where somebody sued Princeton over racial preferences. They said, Princeton, you're giving preferences to black people over Asian people and white people, and you're not even trying to hide it. Princeton said, oh, no, we're not. So they went and got the papers, and the paper said, oh, yes, they are. Why don't we blow through a few of these papers just to kind of get a flavor of what happens behind the scenes at these college admissions things and how kids get into college and how kids don't.
So I'll just do a few quotes from this story. Documents obtained by BuzzFeed News shows Princeton admission officers repeatedly wrote of Asian American applicants as being difficult to differentiate, referring to them dismissively as having very familiar profiles, calling them standard pre-meds or difficult to pluck out. The comments were noted by civil rights investigators as they probed allegations of racial bias in the school's admissions system. Of an Hispanic applicant, an admission officer wrote, "Tough to see putting her ahead of others. No cultural flavor in the application." Of a black student, another admissions officer said, "Very few African Americans with the verbal scores like this." At times, the documents show admissions officers twist themselves into bizarre knots as they consider and dance around the issue of applicants' race. "Were there a touch more cultural flavor, I'd be more enthusiastic," said one officer of someone who was from Hawaii. Another said of a Native American, "Not many Native Americans with scores like this." One investigator questioned an admissions officer after an Asian American student was described eagerly by another officer as a first-generation Chinese student whose own life has not been easy, trying to make the lives of others better through service. One of the best we'll ever see from that high school. Another officer said of the same applicant, "He's perfectly able and appealing, a very familiar profile." Another officer said of another student, "A bright pre-med, but like many others." Here's another comment. "Nice essays, sweet personality," said one admission officer of a multiracial applicant. "Biracial, but not in the National Hispanic Recognition Program, and no recognition of her background in the application by anyone." The National Hispanic Recognition Program recognizes high-performing students who are at least 1/4 Hispanic or Latino, which is weird since the Colin comment here, which is weird since the definition of Hispanic is really a language thing. In one application, they were talking about a Native American guy, and one counselor called him appealing, but another counselor noted that the only place the boy had mentioned his heritage was in a checkbox on his common application, where he called himself, probably the worst thing you can call yourself in the college admissions process, he called himself a white boy. Talking about another applicant, they were talking about somebody who was half Korean and half Hispanic, and that was very appealing because that was a neat blend.
Ho, ho! It's racist! got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist teachers have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist teachers have got to go. Black power! Black power! Black power! Black power! Black power! Black power!
Or do it.
Put your hand down. That's my problem, George. You keep doing these.
What about our protection right now? Fuck you and fuck the police! I would suggest that you take under heavily consideration those that oppose the training in this. Let me remind y'all, that's how whiteness works. Whiteness is the most violent fucking system to ever breathe.
I want to cry. I can't tell you how fast my heart is beating right now. I'm shaking in my boots.
I got to go, hey, hey! Oh, oh! These racist teachers have got to go, hey, hey! Oh, oh!
Somebody's talking, you are not listening. In your head, if you're thinking of a response while somebody is talking, that is not listening. You need to listen. And to be honest with you, I don't even expect you to even say anything to me because I know actions speak louder than words. My mama didn't raise no fool.
Stop giggling and laughing every time we say something. Control it. Try.
Well, I heard her say that 11 o'clock is running. She shouldn't have to be here at 5:30 still telling you to stop.
It's not an accident that all of our administration is white.
Right.
It's not an accident. That shit is systematic as fuck. So when we sit down here,
I said, I'm tired of white people talking about what black and brown people need. You don't know.
I'm just trying to respond.
I'm letting you know. So we're looking for you. Like, come on. You're not. No. You're not oppressed. Okay, sis.
I was there the other night and I read that email and everything that was pretty much described in that email was 100% wrong. And it was, you better just say that you sorry and yeah, you lied.
Because it was some straight up bullshit.
Asking you one more time. I'm giving you a chance. Was the information in that email factual? Yes or no?
To my knowledge.
No. Yes or no? Thank you. No, it was not factual.
Racist teachers have got to go, hey, hey! Oh, oh! These racist teachers have got to go, hey! Oh, oh! These racist teachers have got to go, hey, hey! Oh, oh! These racist teachers have got to go, hey, hey!
Protect us,
That
but
sounds
no,
like another
they
lawsuit.
fear from us. They fear of us trying to mace us in the eyes and shit. For what? For us saying like, hey, Brett, you need to apologize? For one fucking white guy? Is there any black folks that need water in here?
Why is it all these black women and femmes doing all this emotional labor in this space? These white-ass faculty members need to be holding him and all these people accountable. We don't need to be doing all things.
Get out! You're not helpful. Get out!
Can you listen to your shirt?
Get out!
Shake and chill. You need to go.
Has demonstrated anti-blackness in the pigeonholing, charging, and sentencing of 2 black trans disabled students based on false racially charged allegations. Sorry.
Excuse me.
Get the camera on her.
Can we?
No, fuck you, George. We don't want to hear a goddamn thing you have to say. You talk so fucking much. No, you shut the fuck up. No.
I think what's smart is not to I think what's smart is not to tone police people because people are angry, and so what matters is what they're saying, not how they're saying it.
Why don't you speak up? Because somebody keeps interrupting this man. I'm still trying to wait for him to answer the question whether it's bullshit or not. I want to hear what he has to say. So he can
Sit your ass down. Yeah. Just turn, y'all. These are the lost ones. The lost ones are rising. Pay no attention. Johnny.
to make it seem like you have to simplify it for us. We're not simpletons. We're adults.
Right.
And so I'm telling you, you're speaking to your ancestor. All right? We've been here before you. We built these cities.
Right.
We've had civilization way before you ever had.
Right.
Coming out your caves, okay? So let's be
you have the fucking nerve to fucking dehumanize like R and me have you. What's in this whole
and like mostly all the trannies too.
Yes, yeah.
This institution's really good at targeting trannies.
Yeah.
Man, pour his fucking soul out, and you're still here. Look, you called for a man who was being harassed or threatened. Why the fuck is he here? Please explain.
And what gets me is there was Shamir could just blatantly ask you what you could do to protect students, and you were ready. No, you sat here and you disregarded that all of us came here and took a risk to come here and be in this room with the way everybody's acting on campus, but you were ready to adjourn it for one white professor. Right?
What's your action?
Put your hand down, Lord. Put your hand down.
Watch yourself.
That's not appropriate. You gotta put your hands down. You know you gotta put your hands down.
Yes, Ike! Ike is a damn fool, y'all.
Okay? The thing is that my ancestors were slaves and your ancestors were not. Your ancestors came here of free choice and decided to bring along my people of not of their own free will to work and build this country. Okay? And so I'm just letting you know that slavery still has repercussions in society today. And that is what we're here about. Those repercussions. It doesn't go away. It's not over.
You know, maybe because I'm of a certain age, when I see kids acting like this, some part of me is going, okay, you know, they'll grow out of it. But the unfortunate thing is, this is a microcosm for things the adults are doing too. So we can use this microcosm of what the kids are doing as a kind of way to get insight into what the adults are doing, because a lot of people never grow out of this. They never grow out of the anger, the bullying. You know, the liberal thing is, and I'm sorry to be the 1 millionth person to, to mention this, but it's weird how it just keeps happening over and over and over every day, you know, again and again and again. I mean, nobody wants to talk. Their instinct is just to shut you down. That's it. No talk, shut up. That's a university thing now? Yes, it is all over the country, where schools are going out of their way to seek and admit social justice warriors. They're looking at people by race, by ethnicity, in the most ridiculous, stereotypical ways, punishing hard work, punishing intelligence, rewarding ridiculous social justice worker behavior, and above all, never making the black kids angry.